In September of the second year of the Genna era 1616, Masamune Date, at 49 years old, was swinging his sword in the garden of his residence in Sendai, drenched in sweat. After his exercise, he wiped his body with water from a bucket brought by a page. It was then that Katakura Kojuro hurried over to deliver some urgent news. Hideyoshi is preparing for battle, he reported. He has gathered a force of about 80,000. Upon hearing this, Masamune, with his only visible left eye wide open, snorted in amusement. Young fool, he chuckled, he thinks he can easily take the head of Masamune. Masamune Date was born on August 3 in the 10th year of the Eiroku era 1567, at Yonezawa Castle in Dewa Province. He was the legitimate son of Terumune Date, the 16th head of the Date family, and his lawful wife, who was a daughter of Yoshimori Mogami named Yoshihime. Masamune lost sight in his right eye during his childhood, which contributed to his extremely introverted personality, leading him to be disliked by his own mother. His mother favored his younger brother, Kojiro, and schemed to have him succeed the family leadership instead. Distressed by this, his father Terumune invited the renowned Zen monk, Kosai Suetsu, to become Masamune's tutor. Kosai not only mentored Masamune in spiritual matters but also educated him in various academic fields. Masamune, who was exceptionally intelligent, eventually grew into a figure who would be cautious of leaders like Hideyoshi Toyotomi and Ieyasu Tokugawa. In March of the 18th year of the Tensho era 1590, Hideyoshi Toyotomi, at age 53, and Ieyasu Tokugawa, at age 48, were leading figures in Japan. During this time, Masamune Date, at 23, was continuing his military campaigns despite Hideyoshi's issuance of the Comprehensive Peace Edict of Prohibition against private wars, which had been ordered by Hideyoshi, now acting as Kanpaku chief advisor to the emperor. Masamune ruled over a substantial territory including the Nakadori and Aizu regions of modern-day Fukushima Prefecture, the Okatama region of Yamagata Prefecture, and the southern part of Miyagi Prefecture, establishing one of the most significant domains in the country. He had moved his base from Yonezawa Castle to Kurokawa Castle, a strategic move to prepare for a joint campaign with the Hojo clan against the Sadake clan. Likely, it's urging us to deploy our troops. After reading the letter, Masamune said, "It seems we can no longer delay. What do you think, Kojuro?" Last year, after Numata Zamata Norinao, who is under the Hojo, captured the Sanada's Kurihashi Castle, it's been 4 months since Toyotomi declared war on the Hojo. We are already late, a decision must indeed be made now. But after the Hojo, it will be our turn, Masamune noted. The Toyotomi forces amount to 220,000 men. Even if we support the Hojo, I doubt the situation will change. At best, the war will just drag on. If we submit to Toyotomi now, will the Date family be assured safety? From Kimura Yoshiaki, we have received a letter stating in addition to securing Aizu, there will also be an increase in our lands, and from Asano Nagamasa, all past actions of the Date family will not be questioned. Whether to trust this is the question. Very well, gather everyone. During the subsequent war council, Masamune decided to pledge allegiance to Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Masamune Date's arrival at Odawara was significantly delayed. On the day before his departure, he was poisoned by his mother. Fortunately, he survived without major health issues, but this incident led him to execute his younger brother, Kojiro, who was implicated. Further complications arose during his journey as some of his retainers, who were sympathetic to the Hojo, showed signs of unrest. Consequently, he returned to his domain to persuade them, which delayed his departure by a month. He finally arrived on June 5, just 1 month before the surrender of Odawara Castle. During his confinement at the bottom of the storehouse, Masamune was interrogated by prominent figures like Maeda Tashiai and Asano Nagamasa. They questioned him about his actions, including the destruction of the Ashina clan of Ieyasu. In reality, Masamune had maintained good relationships with figures like Tashiai and Nagamasa, often through gifts such as fine horses. As a result, all actions prior to his campaign against Ieyasu were forgiven, and he was held accountable only for the assault on Ieyasu. Consequently, Masamune was stripped of 3 counties, Ieyasu, Iwase, and Osaka, but his other territories were confirmed safe. On June 9, Masamune finally had an audience with Hideyoshi Toyotomi. Masamune, dressed in a white death shroud and his hair tied up with Mijiki cord, waited for Hideyoshi. When Hideyoshi entered the tent, he glanced at Masamune's attire and murmured appreciatively, then took his seat. "I have heard from Tashiai and others. Ieyasu, Iwase, and Osaka will be confiscated, and the rest will be spared," Hideyoshi declared. "It is as you say," Masamune responded. "I've been told that you wish to learn the way of tea from Rikyu through Tashiai and Nagamasa," Hideyoshi mentioned. "Yes, before I die, I would like to receive such instruction," Masamune admitted. "Is that so? Well, I can't arrange it today due to other preparations, but let's have a tea ceremony tomorrow. You shall join us." "Thank you, I am grateful." "Then, for today, why don't you observe the deployment at Odawara Castle? If anything comes to your attention, I would like to hear of it." "There would be no need for me to offer advice," Masamune said modestly. Hideyoshi stood up and walked over to Masamune, placing his fan against Masamune's neck and whispering, "Had you arrived at Odawara a bit later, your head would have fallen." As Masamune stood frozen, Hideyoshi passed by him and called out from behind, "I will guide you myself. Follow me." Indeed, Masamune was eventually able to learn the art of tea ceremony from Sen no Rikyu. Rikyu's approach to the tea ceremony encompassed not only the preparation and presentation of tea but also included the crafting of kaiseki cuisine, marking him as a trendsetter in Japan's culinary culture at the time. Masamune absorbed these cultural lessons comprehensively. He brought back this newfound knowledge to the Tohoku region, significantly enriching its cultural landscape. Masamune continued this pattern throughout his life, regularly learning from the cultural centers of Japan and transferring those insights to Tohoku, thus fostering a renaissance in the region's cultural development. In September 1600, after the death of Hideyoshi Toyotomi, the Battle of Sekigahara erupted. Masamune, aligned with the Eastern Army, was commanded by Ieyasu Tokugawa to assist Yoshiaki Mogami in attacking the Uesugi clan. However, Masamune did not act immediately, he waited and observed the unfolding battle conditions closely. Only when he received news of Ieyasu's victory at Sekigahara did he move to aid Mogami. Ieyasu was wary of Masamune's cautious approach and his timing. By the following year, 1601, with Ieyasu's permission, Masamune relocated his seat of power to Sendai and began constructing the castle and the town. This marked the establishment of the Sendai domain with Masamune as its founding lord. The creation of the Sendai domain significantly bolstered Masamune's influence and the cultural and political development of the region.